Hey everybody, happy Friday. We're in a different setting, in a different state, in a different time zone, getting you the Ask a Painter live show today. So I am Nick Slavik. I'm the proprietor of the Nick Slavik Painting and Restoration Company. I'm also the host of this show, Ask a Painter Live. It's a weekly live Facebook show where I use my over 2 decades of experience as a craftsman and a business owner to answer any questions. Now, today is going to be an interesting show. I'm spending time with my family. I'm not on my home turf. I don't have something cool to paint for you. I don't have one of my awesome guests. I don't have an interesting job site to show you. This is cool though. This is Lake Tahoe. I'm here spending some time with my family, decompressing, doing some long range, sort of futuristic strategic thinking here while we're kind of unwinding from a very busy, interesting first 6 months of the year. And I thought I would share with you guys something that's really humbled me. And it's a lesson. I don't come across major life lessons every day when I do this now. I've been doing it so long, a lot of the low-hanging fruit is already done. I don't have a lot of epiphanies anymore. I have small little micro wins along the way that sort of allow me to keep progressing forward. But in the last quarter, you know, maybe even 2 quarters, you think about COVID, leadership through COVID economy, there's probably 20 to 25 families that sort of in some way rely on my company for their food, their shelter, their housing, and other things. And it really puts an emphasis on being a good leader. One of the biggest leadership lessons that I've ever learned just happened in the last couple months here, which is what to expect from your people, what they can expect from you, and it's hard to summarize, but basically how I've been leading my company for the last 13 years is I tell people explicitly, I don't take anything personally. I eat problems for breakfast. Give me a problem. Point something out that I'm doing wrong, and I will attack it with a fury you have never seen before. And I do that. The only problem is I had this big epiphany recently that your employees, that's not their responsibility. And I try to keep this open family environment. I try to create this little freedom machine for my family, for their families, for all of us together. We want to change the face of the trades. We want to do world-class work. We want to do award-winning work. We want to make everybody happy and well paid. And we want to leave a huge pile of insanely happy clients that have this refreshing feel of the trades behind us. And I've operated for 13 years under the thing of, please guys, open door policy all the time. Please let me know anything. Just tell me something I'm doing wrong. Tell me something the company's doing wrong. Tell me something that I'm not seeing, I'm not doing. Tell me something I'm doing that I shouldn't be doing. And people are actually pretty good at telling me that stuff. They're open and honest. But I have also realized that there will always be this little bit of separation between somebody who owns the company, somebody who provides the payroll, and somebody who earns the payroll and works within the company, the employer-employee relationship. I wish it did not exist. I truly wish that everybody saw me as a peer. I wish that they knew they could come to me with anything they could want. I wish I could take direction from all the people who are in the field giving me that kind of up-to-minute thing. This is what we're feeling, this is what we're doing, why don't we do this? I think we should do more or less of this. Again, my people are pretty good at that, but there will always be a separation between what they're comfortable with talking. And I think this is universal. I think I get so much of this because we have such an open environment, but there still will always be some held back. And the lesson that I had, the big epiphany I had over the last couple months is you cannot expect them to do that. You cannot expect the people in your company to 100% all the time, consistently, forever, critique you, critique the company, and critique everything around pay, benefits, things like that. So, number one big epiphany that I had was you need to stay out in front of the employees and the people in your company. You need to be a good enough leader to feel that and see that, try some things, see how they react to it, and stay in front of that. Recently, we've let a few things in the company go. I usually just say, you know, when people want to raise, just come to me. We'll talk it. If you have a proposal, say, I want to make this, and I'll tell you, here's what you need to do to get it, and we'll do it. I have also realized that the most awkward conversation for everybody their entire life is pay, is benefits. It's a gross conversation. It's an uncomfortable conversation. It's awkward, and people don't like doing it, even though they know that I'm an open boss, that I want nothing more than for them to win and for me to win, and all our clients to get a good product. And I've just realized that, you know what, I need to be better. And you can't wait for people to come to you to say what they need. You need to be a good leader and make sure that they have what they need before they know they need it. And that's been the big lesson for the last couple months for me. One of the big things that kind of exposed that is, you know, I let people kind of negotiate their starting pay. And I have always two minds about this thing. So I start anybody between, I think maybe $14 and $18 an hour, give or take, when they come on for an apprenticeship. And when people have a family and a mortgage and cars, obviously they need a little more. When somebody's an 18-and-a-half-year-old guy living in his parents' basement who really has no bills at all, maybe they need a little less. Maybe they've never had a real job before. I let everybody set what they need to come into the company. I think that's a really good way to do it, because at the end of their first year, I normally normalize people's pay 18 plus when they start leading a crew. What I've noticed now is some cracks in that system can get exposed when somebody who comes in at the higher end of the scale doesn't perform as well who somebody comes in at the lower end of the scale. The person on the lower end of the scale may never come to me and say, hey, you know what? I know that he's worth that money because he's got a family and all that other stuff, but I'm actually making less than him and I'm performing better than him. So in my perfect company, in my perfect world, that young person would come to me and say that. I now know that's not their responsibility, and I cannot hold that against them if they don't come to their boss and say there's pay inequities in the company. So we had to redo a lot of the stuff on the pay scale to make sure everybody was equitable. Pay was equitable over the last 3 months here, and it was a great lesson for me. That simple lesson of stay in front of them. You need to be a better leader. You cannot rely on people to do that. It's not their responsibility, and you just need to be a better leader. So I thought I would share that with you guys today. When I go on vacation here, I'm not one of those guys that needs to completely disconnect. I usually spend about an hour a day just making sure estimates and emails and crews are taken care of. My 2 client concierges / production managers are doing the Lord's work back home. We plan for me to be away. I plan for them to be away. Everything's going well, but this is a time for me to do a lot of deep thinking with my family. It clears my head. It gets rid of the day-to-day things that keep me tethered to my computer and my office and allows my mind to wander a little bit. And I've been thinking a lot about this recently. And like I said, I don't often come across these leadership lessons like this, but I did. And I thought it dovetailed really nicely. It coincided very nicely with the PCA's Contractor Question of the Week, which was, what is one of the best leadership lessons you've ever learned? And I actually have something. I have all sorts of these things that I always try to live by or tell other people. Lead by example, always be the hardest working, wake up earlier, stay up later, always be in communication with people. But those are good. Those are sort of tactical things, but those are things I've been doing for over a decade. This is something that I've just realized over the last couple months here, and I thought I would share with you guys because it adds a lot of value. So it's not satisfying. I wish people would come to me and tell me exactly what they need. I wish people would tell me if there's inequities. I wish people would tell me everything I do wrong. People have no idea. I function the best. There are some people associated with this show and this industry that know me and know my relationship, or we have a good relationship where they can come to me and say, Nick, before they even say hi, here's 3 things that you're really bad at that I've noticed that you need to improve on right now. And all I am is interested. I can't take notes fast enough. I can't ask them for enough perspective, and I go forth and do that. I know that not everybody is like that. I know that everybody doesn't like to dwell on the bad stuff. When I get a compliment, it's like, yeah. Okay, fine, but what could I have done better? And that's what I'm interested in. So, I just thought I would share that with you guys. That was a very important thing. Thank you to the PCA, the Painting Contractors Association. We're going to be doing some, they're a great underwriter of this show. There's a link in here if you guys want to join those people that I have a great relationship with that will come to me and say, you're really bad at this. They're all in the PCA. And it's not a coincidence that the hockey stick curve started, the base of that started since I joined the PCA. So if that's anything to you, check it out. There's a whole bunch of free resources. And if you want to be a member, you can come hang out with the rest of us too. So, Aaron King looks rough out there. Yeah, it's pretty nice out here. Evan still can't get over the beard. It's coming back. I'm doing my hardest to grow that sucker back. So, Phil, stop saying this is an unsatisfying answer. Well, seriously, Phil, I feel like Ask a Painter in my life is a series of unsatisfying answers because they're simple. Most people, when they come to me with questions, they say, hey, how do you schedule? I think most people want an app, and I say constant contact with clients. And I have 2 people to take care of scheduling now, because I know there's no app, there's no program that will do it for you. It's constantly taking variables and puzzle pieces and trying to fit them together. So I love that filth. Now, that is a good criticism. I know I say that too much, but I'm self-conscious about it, and they are truly, I think they're unsatisfied, because I think when people come to me, they want something different, and then maybe they don't. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to the PCA. Be watching for the War Room Masters classes. So I've had about 12 travel dates and public speaking dates and master's class dates scrubbed this year because of COVID, and I'm not going to lie down and take it. We're going in my master's, we're going in my war room, and we're bringing some of my favorite people from the area in there first. We're going to make sure we get the program down. We're going to make sure everybody gets some value. It's going to be a workshop. I'm going to have people bring in examples of their jobs. We're going to all job cost them together. We're going to compare them to industry standards. We're going to take the pulse of your business. We're going to make a plan going forward, and we're going to share a lot of perspective. So watch for that. The first one was kind of an invite-only thing. I wanted to take people that I knew would give me tons of input. Those people would say, you're really bad at this, do this different. And then we're going to go forth. And there's going to be lots of these things coming up. And part of that might be traveling to your area with 10 to 20 people in tow, and not just sitting there having me lecture the whole time, but us all bringing examples of jobs, sitting down, crunching all the numbers, giving it perspective, and going forth. So again, thank you to the PCA. Thank you to everybody here. Thank you guys for watching. This seriously means the world to me. And I'm very proud to say that this is over 4 years of Ask a Painter, and I've not missed a date. We've done this from frozen lakes and ice shanties. I've done this from the Gulf of Mexico. We've done this now from California, from Utah, from Canada, from a wilderness fly-in thing in Canada. I've never missed a show in 4 years, and I try to keep it up. Now, again, I apologize. I'm not painting anything. I don't have an awesome guest. I don't have an awesome job site to show you, but I have perspective, and I wanted to share that deep thought with you guys today from a place that's insanely beautiful. It makes you have deep thoughts. So everybody, I'm going to spend some time with my family. You guys mean the world to me, and it means the world to me that you watch, and we'll talk to you later.